Imagine waking up tomorrow and your money still exists, but it doesn't work. Your bank app opens, the numbers are there, but transfers fail, ATMs are empty, cards are declined, fuel stations demand cash only, and even then they're rationing. Within days, prices double. Within weeks, shelves are empty. Within months, people stop asking how much and start asking what can you trade. Now picture this. Your neighbor, once financially comfortable, walks up to you holding a gold chain. It used to represent status, security, wealth. Now he's offering it for rice, for cooking oil, for medicine. And you hesitate. Because in a world where supply chains have collapsed and currency has lost trust, gold becomes a luxury, and survival becomes the only currency that matters. This isn't a fantasy scenario. It has happened repeatedly across modern history. Different countries, different cultures, same pattern. The most dangerous myth in financial preparedness is the belief that collapse happens slowly, that you'll see it coming years in advance, that you'll have time to adjust. History says otherwise. Economic breakdown moves like a crack in a dam. At first it's small, almost invisible. Then pressure builds. Then suddenly everything gives way. First, inflation rises faster than wages. Then banks limit withdrawals. Then governments impose controls. Then trust evaporates. And when trust dies, money dies with it. Money is not paper, it's not metal, it's not digital code. It is collective belief. When belief fractures, currency becomes decoration. What replaces it? Utility. When formal systems fail, societies revert to the basics: food, water, fire, shelter, medicine, security, community. People don't trade for wealth preservation, they trade for immediate problem solving. In documented collapse situations, small practical items became powerful. Soap traded for eggs, batteries traded for bread, lighters traded for food, antibiotics traded for weeks of labor. Why? Because they solved real problems instantly. A lighter means fire. Fire means cooking, boiling water, heat, sterilization, light. A simple bottle of bleach can purify hundreds of liters of water. Basic painkillers become priceless when hospitals stop functioning. Now compare that to a gold coin. Gold stores value, but only if someone else wants it more than what they already have. In the peak of crisis, people don't want wealth. They want survival. This is the part most people misunderstand. Precious metals are not useless. They can preserve purchasing power after stability returns. But during the most chaotic phase, the window where survival is uncertain, they are secondary. Because they do not produce, they do not solve, they do not feed. Productive capacity wins. Families that own small plots of land during severe economic downturns historically survived better than urban families with savings accounts, not because they were wealthy, but because they could grow food. A garden doesn't care about inflation statistics. Chickens don't stop laying eggs because the stock market crashed. A well doesn't check currency exchange rates before providing water. A person who knows how to repair plumbing, grow vegetables, preserve food, sew clothing, treat wounds, or fix engines carries portable wealth that cannot be confiscated. Skills don't sit in a vault, they exist in you. In crisis conditions, people who can solve problems become economic hubs. Mechanics trade repairs for food, nurses trade care for supplies, farmers trade harvests for tools. Meanwhile, those who only stored wealth must find someone willing to accept it. There is another overlooked factor that determines survival more than almost anything else: community. In stable times, we prioritize independence. In unstable times, interdependence saves lives. When institutions weaken, informal networks strengthen, neighbors share information, families pool resources, communities organize protection and distribution. People who enter collapse alone struggle. People who enter collapse with trusted relationships adapt faster. Trust becomes infrastructure, and trust cannot be bought at the last minute. Now here's where modern society becomes vulnerable. We are more financially connected than ever before. Globalized supply chains, digital banking, interdependent economies, fiat currencies backed by confidence rather than commodities. That system works until confidence cracks. If multiple major economies experience simultaneous stress, the ripple effects would be faster than anything seen historically. Debt levels are high across developed nations. Monetary expansion over the last decade has been unprecedented. Financial markets are deeply interconnected. If disruption spreads, it won't respect borders. And in such a scenario, the strategy cannot rely on a single asset class. Diversification must go beyond finance. Think in layers. Layer 1, food resilience. Even partial self-production reduces dependency. A small garden, preserved food, long shelf staples. Layer 2, water and sanitation. Filtration systems, purification knowledge, hygiene supplies. Layer 3, skills, gardening, basic medical knowledge, mechanical repair, food preservation. Layer 4, tools and practical goods, items that solve everyday survival problems. Layer 5, social capital, real relationships, not social media. People you can call at midnight. And only after those layers are established does holding precious metals make sense as post-crisis optionality, not primary defense. The mistake many make is confusing wealth storage with resilience. They are not the same. Wealth storage protects value in stable systems. Resilience protects life in unstable ones. During the calm, gold can shine. During the storm, firewood matters more. This doesn't mean panic. It means preparation. Preparation is not fear. It is insurance. The goal is not to predict collapse tomorrow. The goal is to recognize patterns that have repeated across continents and decades. In every major economic breakdown, the same sequence appears. Currency weakens, trust erodes, barter rises, utility dominates, community determines survival, and eventually stability returns. Those who focused only on financial assets often endured the harshest phase with the least flexibility. Those who invested in production, skills, and networks adapted faster. The uncomfortable truth is this: if money stopped working for 6 months, would your household still function? Could you cook without electricity? Could you purify water? Could you treat minor injuries? Could you trade something people need? If the answer is no, the hedge is incomplete. Financial independence is powerful, but functional independence is survival. The world may never face total collapse. It may only face turbulence. But resilience built for worst-case scenarios strengthens you for moderate ones too. Gardening reduces grocery bills even in stable times. Practical skills increase income flexibility. Community relationships enrich everyday life. Preparation pays dividends even if crisis never arrives. And if it does, you won't be the one standing in line wondering how bread became unaffordable overnight. You'll be the one quietly trading eggs for flour. Position yourself before you're forced to, because when money dies, only usefulness survives.